Look, the baseball world is buzzing right now, and I need to talk about something that honestly sounds completely insane but might actually happen. The Texas Rangers are apparently shopping Corey Seager. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Corey Seager who just helped them win a World Series a couple years ago, the guy they gave $325 million to. And guess which team keeps popping up in these conversations? The Los Angeles Dodgers. So here's what we know. Multiple reports are coming out saying the Rangers need to cut payroll in a major way. They've got massive contracts on the books, and apparently they're willing to move some serious pieces to make their financial situation work. Jacob deGrom's name has been floating around, Adolis Garcia too, but the one that's really catching fire is Seager. The dude still has 6 years and about $190 million left on his deal. That's not exactly pocket change. Now, according to sources, Seager has a no-trade clause in his contract, but he's only got 8 teams on his restricted list. We know for sure the Yankees and Red Sox aren't on there. And honestly, I'd be shocked if the Dodgers were on that list considering his history with the organization. The guy spent his entire career up until 2022 in Los Angeles. He won a World Series there in 2020, took home World Series MVP honors. Why would he block a return to a team where he had so much success? Here's where this gets really interesting from a baseball perspective. The Dodgers don't actually need a shortstop right now. Mookie Betts just led all shortstops in defensive runs saved last season. He was phenomenal at the position, absolutely phenomenal. So if you're bringing in Seager, you're not doing it because you have a hole to fill it short. You're doing it because the bat is too good to pass up and you figure out the logistics later. Let's talk about what Seager brings to the table. Even with some injury issues this past season, he still put up solid numbers. He hit .271 with 21 home runs and 50 RBIs. His on-base percentage was .373. The guy only struck out 87 times in 380 at-bats, which shows incredible plate discipline. And if you look at his track record with the Dodgers before he left, he was consistently hitting around 300 with an OPS hovering between 800 and 900, sometimes pushing over 1,000. That 2023 season was absolutely ridiculous. He hit .327 and completely carried the Rangers through the postseason World Series MVP performance. The man still has plenty left in the tank. He's 31, which, yeah, that's not 25 anymore, but for a premier hitter, that's still very much in the prime years. The bat-to-ball skills haven't declined. The power is still there. The baseball IQ is off the charts. So the big question everyone's asking is, where does Mookie play if this happens? And honestly, this is where the Dodgers' flexibility becomes a huge advantage. Mookie has played right field, second base, and shortstop at elite levels over the past 3 seasons. The man is basically a Swiss Army knife defensively. You could absolutely put him back at second base and slot Seager in at short, or you could get creative and rotate them depending on matchups and who needs rest. Some people are saying this is a stupid idea because the Dodgers should be focusing on outfield help and pitching. And look, I get that argument. The outfield definitely needs attention. The rotation could use another arm. But here's the thing about acquiring elite talent. You don't pass it up just because it doesn't fit a perfect positional need, especially when you have the defensive versatility that the Dodgers have with Mookie. The other massive factor here is what this trade would actually cost. Normally, if you're trading for a guy with 6 years and $190 million left on his contract, you're giving up your entire farm system. But in this case, the Rangers are actively trying to shed payroll. They want financial relief. That completely changes the equation. The Dodgers might be able to get away with sending back mid-level prospects and maybe eating a portion of the contract. Guys like Dalton Rushing could be in play, maybe a pitching prospect or two, but this isn't going to require gutting the system. Think about what the lineup could look like with Seager in it. You've got Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, and then you add Corey Seager back into that mix. That's an absolutely murderous top half of the order. The lineup depth would be insane. And for a team that's trying to win multiple championships in this window, adding a player of Seager's caliber when the acquisition cost is potentially lower than normal makes a ton of sense. Now, I know some people are going to say the Dodgers don't need another big contract. They've already got massive money committed to Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Yamamoto, but this is the Dodgers we're talking about. They've never been shy about spending when they think it makes the team better. And if they can work out a deal where the Rangers eat some money, or they spread out the payments in creative ways, the financial hit might not be as bad as it looks on paper. The sentimental factor here is real too. Seager was drafted by the Dodgers. He came up through their system. He was the face of the franchise before Mookie arrived. The fan base loved him. And honestly, there were hard feelings on both sides when he left. The Dodgers wanted to keep him, but the Rangers came in with an offer that was impossible to match at the time. If there's a chance to bring him back and run it back with a guy who knows the organization inside and out, that's worth exploring. Seager has dealt with injuries throughout his career, back issues, hamstring problems, various nagging things that have cost him games. There are some legitimate concerns, though. When you're talking about committing to 6 more years of a contract, you have to factor in the injury risk. But at the same time, when he's on the field, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. That's not up for debate. The other question is whether this blocks any younger players from developing. Tommy Edman is in the picture. There are prospects who could potentially contribute, but if you're the Dodgers and you have a chance to upgrade the roster with a proven all-star caliber player, you take that shot. You figure out the rest later. Championships aren't won by saving roster spots for maybes. They're won by putting the best possible players on the field. So would I do this trade if I'm Andrew Friedman? Honestly, yeah, I probably would. The fit isn't perfect positionally, but the talent is undeniable. The cost might be manageable given the Rangers' payroll situation. And adding another elite bat to an already stacked lineup makes the Dodgers even more impossible to pitch to. This is the kind of move that could put the team over the top for another championship run. What do you think? Are the Dodgers crazy to even consider this, or is this the exact kind of aggressive move that championship teams make? Let me know.